Hi guys, this is Erica from Gokce Capital. Now before I begin, be sure to click subscribe and turn on the notification bell. In 2014, Leonard and Cindy Lavolo built their dream home. The 14,552 square foot mansion has a boathouse, a home theater, custom wine cellar, grotto, and indoor playground. The problem? It's so opulent, no one knows how to value it. So what happened? We'll find out at the end of this video. But first, when you commission an appraisal, your appraiser may use a hypothetical condition, especially if you are buying vacant land. And in today's video, we have everything you need to know about this concept. Number 1. What is a hypothetical condition? Hypothetical condition is defined as a condition directly related to a specific appraisal assignment, which is contrary to what is known by the appraiser to exist on the effective date of the assignment results, but which is used for the purpose of analysis. In plain English, it is a condition the appraiser knows to be contrary to fact, but takes to be true for reasons listed in the appraisal report. Number 2. When are hypothetical conditions used? There are a couple of circumstances under which hypothetical conditions may be used. Here are some examples. During an appraisal of a new dwelling, a hypothetical condition may be used to appraise the dwelling as if it were 100% complete, even if it is currently under construction. A hypothetical condition may also be used in an appraisal of a property that is subject to detrimental conditions, such as environmental contamination. In these circumstances, the property would be valued as if the condition doesn't exist. This may be done when the property owner plans to remediate the property. And finally, if a buyer is looking to request a rezoning or a zoning variance and wants to appraise the value as if it has a different zoning designation, a hypothetical condition could be used. So say a single-family home is on a busy road and across the street from commercial properties. In this case, the property could be appraised as if it were zoned commercial, assuming the rezoning was potentially feasible. Number 3. Hypothetical conditions, when used, must be disclosed. Why is this the case? Disclosing hypothetical conditions is important because it ensures that everyone understands the state of the property and a buyer does not overoffer based on the hypothetical condition. For example, if a hypothetical condition is used to appraise a property as if there is no environmental contamination, a buyer might overpay believing the property is clean and livable. Number 4. What type of disclosure requirements exist for the use of hypothetical conditions? The Uniform Standard of Professional Appraisal Practices has requirements for hypothetical conditions. Their Standard Rule 2-2 requires that hypothetical conditions must be clearly and conspicuously stated. Additionally, these standards require a statement in the appraisal that says the use of the hypothetical condition might have affected the assignment results. Number 5. What is an extraordinary assumption? Sometimes an appraisal does not use a hypothetical condition, but an extraordinary assumption. It's easy to confuse the two, so be careful. An extraordinary assumption is an assignment-specific assumption regarding uncertain information used in the appraisal analysis. If found to be false, the extraordinary assumption could alter the appraiser's opinion or conclusions. Unlike hypothetical conditions, extraordinary assumptions may or may not exist. They're used in circumstances where the appraiser just isn't sure about something. For example, if an appraiser is not able to go inside a home, they will have to use extraordinary assumptions about the contents of the interior. And finally, number 6. What's the difference between hypothetical conditions and extraordinary assumptions? Let's look at an example to help illustrate the difference. Say you commission an appraisal on an acreage property that was formerly a farm. If you have no knowledge of contamination, an extraordinary assumption could apply. Here's how it would be written. This appraisal was developed using the extraordinary assumption that the acreage being valued is assumed free of any environmental hazards. The appraiser is not aware of any environmental screening of the property as of the appraisal date. The use of this extraordinary assumption might have affected the assignment results. Thus, the appraiser uses an extraordinary assumption because testing was not done on the property and they don't know whether there is contamination. However, if the property has been tested and you're aware of contamination, but you want the valuation to be done assuming the property is uncontaminated, a hypothetical condition would be used. And here's how it would be written. There is known contamination within the subject property. With that, this appraisal has been developed using the hypothetical condition that the subject property is not contaminated or otherwise environmentally affected. The use of this hypothetical condition might have affected the assignment results. So as you can see, both of these assumptions, if you don't pay close attention, could have dramatic results on the valuation of the property. But now that we've covered hypothetical conditions, let's return to the Lavolos Mansion. In 2014, the couple built their dream home in the Buffalo suburb of Amherst. The new mansion, a sprawling waterfront complex with custom-carved mahogany doors, a slate roof and copper flashing, took 5 years to plan and 4 years to build. But this was only the beginning, for almost as soon as construction started, the Lavolos entered into a 4-year battle with the town over the value of their new home. In 2014, when the home was under construction, the town's appraiser valued the home at $1.7 million, rising to $4.56 by the time the home was complete. And the town used this appraisal to justify an assessment of $3.2 million. In response to this multi-million valuation, the couple sued the town, providing their own appraisal, which showed a completed valuation of only $2.1 million. The case went to State Supreme Court Justice Sheila DiTullio, who was stumped. The problem? There was no other home of such opulence in all of Western New York. And without sales comps, what does an appraiser do? In this case, both appraisals looked at comparable sales comps. However, the town's appraiser used building plans and conversations with the home's architect to determine the exact furnishings used in the home so that he could make detailed upward adjustments to his selected sales comps. Alternatively, the Lavolos appraiser simply made the extraordinary assumption that the home's interior was commensurate with the quality of other luxury homes in the area. An assumption that the judge rejected given the extreme luxury of the Lavolos home, which is a good reason why you should always carefully review any appraisal using a hypothetical condition or extraordinary assumption. For these conditions, though useful in certain circumstances, can lead to valuations that do not accurately reflect a property's market value. So what did all this mean for the Lavolos home? Did the judge simply accept the town's appraisal? Not necessarily, for while the judge was critical of Lavolos' valuation, she also weighed the town's appraisal against a key question. How many buyers are there for such opulence? Not many, the judge concluded. So in the end, she split the difference, giving the home a valuation of $3.056 million, which just so happened to be right at the home's current assessed value. But what do you think? Do you have any stories about hypothetical conditions? Let us know in the comments. Did you like this video? You're going to love our Gokce Land Due Diligence program. We'll make you a land due diligence expert in just 7 days. Check it out at gokcecapital.com/glad. And while you're at our website, don't forget to explore our $1 down listings at gokcecapital.com/listings. Finally, don't hesitate to reach out. You can email, call, or text, and we will respond as soon as possible. So thank you for listening, and more to come.